We'll call to order tonight's Committee of the Whole for the Auburn City Council meeting for June the 4th, 2024. The City Council should have the minutes from the Committee of the Whole from the May 21st meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a move to approve?
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes are approved. East University Drive Sidewalk, Old Mill to McKinley. Councilperson Mormon.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. At the Committee of the Whole, on 7 May 2024, the city staff presented the council with an estimate of cost and work involved in building 1,000 feet of sidewalk on the west side of East University between Old Mill and East McKinley. The cost was reported to be or estimated to be $110,000, but did not include the ancillary cost of moving trees or telephone posts, nor the cost of dealing with underground and overhead utilities. The purpose of the sidewalks is to provide a safe path for high school students that walk to school down Old Mill Road. For the benefit of citizens who aren't fully informed on this issue, there is already a sidewalk on the east side of this street along the same portion of East University. The only real issue for pedestrians traveling this route is getting to that sidewalk on the east side. All the school traffic, the pedestrian school traffic, has to cross over to the east side eventually because that's where the school is. Crossing at Old Mill is not very safe. Therefore, many walkers travel up the west side of the street until they can cross more safely. Students sometimes walk in the yards of one or more houses on the west side of East University before they're able to cross over. Some walk all the way to the top of the hill at East McKinley, where the safety officer is directing school bus traffic. And as we looked at this problem, we discovered there was a second critical issue. We learned that cars traveling south on East University sometimes lose control and launch into the yards of the last two houses on East University before you get to Old Mill Road. This has happened twice in the last year. Protecting the last house before Old Mill are 7 Bradford pears that have stopped several out-of-control cars. We must protect these trees unless and until we find another way to keep the occupants of these 2 homes at the bottom of the hill safe from harm. Placing a sidewalk along the western side may kill these trees due to digging around their roots. So our challenge is to protect the occupants of these houses while we also protect the pedestrians who walk to school along this route. And that is a summary of the discussion that we had back on 7 May. And tonight I think we should look further at this, especially focusing on the 2 main problems of protecting the trees and protecting the pedestrians. So it's not an easy challenge, and I yield back so that we can discuss this, I guess.
Okay. So, Councilman Mormon, what I infer that you're suggesting is maybe asking staff to spend time just looking at those final 2 homes and what can potentially be done to make their situation as safe as possible if a sidewalk were to be constructed.
I have a formal motion to that effect if you're ready for it.
But is that what you're
Yes,
basically, okay.
Yes.
Let's ask the city manager to respond to that. Ms. Crouch, is that something that we can
That's
get
certainly
done?
doable. That's up to the city council. I can say that we have to meet Americans with Disabilities Act guidelines in anything that we do, and there's also a follow-on civil engineering side, and city engineer, correct me if I say this wrong, ProWAG, yeah, that we have to meet with any type of surface we use in this area. And so, I mean, we're happy to look at any options. It's certainly up to the city council how we proceed from here. I would say procedurally, whatever you guys in the majority would like to do is fine. I think there was a misnomer that you were taking some sort of impending vote tonight on whether or not you were proceeding. And I apologize, I was out at the last meeting, but the goal's always been is for you to have kind of two stop gaps there, one of which is when you get enough information, whether you want us to proceed with the design, because we also have to tell you what utility relocation involves. We're not at a final expense and so on. And then there would be, if you instruct us to proceed with design, that's one thing, but then there's the whole aspect of then building it after that, where we would be outside of my spending authority of $30,000 and would have to come back to you after we were to bid it, or even if we were spending our own funds to do it, to get permission to spend that kind of money. So there's two things with no time certain other than at the pleasure of the city council.
Without putting words in Mr. Mormon's mouth, I would believe what we're asking the staff is to specifically look at those two homes, and are there any safety mitigations that could be considered as a sidewalk is being considered at the same time? And I don't know if there can be, but we would just ask the staff to professionally look at that from their lens. Am I correct there, Mr. Mormon?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to add anything to that?
I guess I would like to add a thing or two.
Sure.
I would like to ask the city staff to look at alternative ways to install a sidewalk so that we can help preserve those trees. Specifically, could we build a sidewalk in front of the Bradford pears specifically using an alternative substance other than concrete that would require very little digging? For example, could this first portion of the sidewalk, if we built a sidewalk, be done using either crusher run or alternatively, could we use asphalt if that is safer for the trees? I don't know, but it may be easier to put down and softer, but yet permanent enough to withstand a lot of foot traffic. Or there's also playgrounds that are built using some rubberized material that has a solid surface. And I don't know what it takes to put these things down. I'm simply brainstorming with you out loud tonight. So some alternative surface than concrete, and those are just examples of that. And then we still have to vet whether or not we're going to kill trees up the line, and trees are important. And I'm not putting them above safety, but we don't want to just do this without consulting with the people whose homes and lives are changed as a result of the sidewalk. I don't think a sidewalk's necessarily a bad thing, and I don't think we're going to get a lot of objection to that, but we need to ask the questions, and I can either help with that or stand by. Also, I would like to know if we can reduce the width of the sidewalk in the area of the trees, the Bradford pears specifically, to stay within 5 feet of the curb versus 7 feet of the curb. And let's see, thirdly, I guess, satisfy ADA requirements. Can't walk around that. And then when time has passed, I will leave it to you to let us know that we're getting close to a more productive discussion on this, and then we'll maybe place that back on the committee of the whole.
Okay.
Okay. Is the city council okay with taking these steps?
I wanted to ask a question, and this just a question related to the sidewalks. Now, when I come down East University Drive, and I did ride over through there, I noticed that there's a sidewalk on one side of the street. So is it typical that we put sidewalks on both sides of the street, or is that something that normally happens? Because I know in some areas, and I'm gonna go back to, I can't call the street name right now, but anyway, when a sidewalk stops, then you got a crosswalk, and the rest of it may continue on the other side of the street. So how is that gonna work? Is that part of the plan, or have you thought about that? Or
So a brand new street today constructed, Will Beekner Parkway is the best example. We have what we call a multi-use path, a very wide sidewalk that accommodates bikes, strollers, roller skates, whatever, on one side of the street. And you see that also on a good bit of Moores Mill Road in the newer developed section, and then you see it narrows to a regular sidewalk. And sometimes we have them on both sides, where you see we didn't used to require And we've had a lot of questions from older neighborhoods why they don't have a sidewalk. That's because your developer did not put one in. When we began requiring sidewalks sometime in the 2000s, Allison, 98, when we started requiring them in subdivisions, new subdivisions have them on at least one side, and some streets we require two sides. When it zigzags, that means there is some impediment on a major street, or we had the ability to get a development to do a big chunk of it and the city tied on, or we were trying to provide a route to a school, a church, a shopping area. Those have been priority routes for us. In this case, it was intentionally built, as I've stated before, on the other side of the street because it goes around the entire block of East University Drive, Glen Avenue, and Sanford Avenue. Developments along the way, as well as the high school in the city and Church of the Highlands, heavily contributed to that whole sidewalk. And the notion was that pedestrians would cross at Sanford, where we have a traffic signal, or they would come a different way and cross at Glen, where we also have an East University Drive, a traffic signal. And for East University Drive, we have very long-term plans that are not in the CIP at the moment to make sure we have sidewalk on at least one side of the street. We do have bike lanes on both sides of the street, and you do see a lot of pedestrians in that. I'm not saying that's a substitute for a sidewalk, but in the areas we don't have it, this is what our citizens are doing. So for a while, we received a ton of grants that helped build a lot of sidewalks and sections, and the engineering services department, it was Public Works at the time, worked very hard to make those shopping areas, school, places of worship connections, and this is where we are today. Since the time the high school has been built, this is the first time in the last several months that we have had a request for this. And so that is also why we are where we are. Intentionality was, this was, again, I'll reiterate for everyone, this was supposed to be a bus-only entrance. No passenger cars, nothing, right in, right out for buses. And it has turned into a full access with somebody directing traffic for buses, cars, and pedestrians. And that was not something that was anticipated in the original traffic study when the high school was built. So the city was also left to react to the plan at the time, which was not this. Things can change over time for sure, but I'm also explaining why the sidewalk was never built there to begin with, because that was not supposed to be the place that pedestrians were entering campus. That's the why.
Does that answer your question, Ms. Taylor?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay.
She said a lot, but I think
Do you have a follow-up question?
no, I think I got it in
Okay.
between.
All right. Any other comments from the council? If not, is the council okay with moving forward with this request of the staff?
I'm good.
Okay. Good down here? All right, everybody good? Okay. Ms. Crouch, is this okay? Is this an informal request of the staff, or does Mr. Mormon need to formally request?
No, as long as the majority of the council, because we have to expend staff time, you're directing me to direct the staff to do this. And so I saw the majority of you are good with that, so that's what we'll do.
Okay, good. And we'll just wait to hear from you when you believe that y'all have got the information for us to consider.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Can I make one additional comment?
please.
This is really in reply to your question. The major issue here, one of the major issues here is getting to that sidewalk. The sidewalk does exist, as you pointed out. It's just hard to get to, especially at Old Mill Road. It's a very difficult thing to cross that road by foot or by car. Taking a left from Old Mill onto East University going north is a hard thing to do in a car. And getting across on foot is difficult too. So that has prompted a lot of the discussion and a lot of the letters, I think, that we have received.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so any questions on tonight's agenda for the city manager? Okay, seeing none, is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, at this time, we'll call to order tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for June the 4th, 2024. We welcome those of you who joined us live here tonight. We welcome those that are joining us via WANI radio as well as through our streaming services. At this time, Lindsay with the roll call.
Adams,
Here.
Oblence,
Here.
Dawson,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Mormon,
Here?
Parsons,
Yeah.
Taylor,
Here.
Witt,
Here.
Anders.
Here. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. This is the first meeting of the month, and so at this time, we'll watch a video and recognize our outstanding employees of the month, as well as another commendation. We're proud to introduce you to our June City of Auburn Employee of the Month, and I have a memorandum here from John Hoare, the Inspection Services Director, Chief Building Official. I'm delighted to nominate Chris Hall for Employee of the Month. Chris has been a dedicated and loyal member of our city for nearly 7 years. Starting as a building inspector, Chris demonstrated exceptional knowledge and proficiency in applying building codes and city standards. His keen eye for detail and commitment to our city's mission of excellence quickly earned him recognition, leading to his advancement in the position of final inspector. Currently serving as Chief Building Inspector, Chris oversees the inspection process with diligence, efficiency, and quality. His comprehensive understanding of building codes and city standards allows him to seamlessly manage inspections of any magnitude. Chris's outstanding customer service skills are evident in his daily interactions with citizens, contractors, and developers. He consistently works to prevent and resolve issues during construction, identifying the most pressing problems and finding solutions with remarkable speed. He has elevated the city's building inspection processes to new heights of efficiency and quality. Chris plays a crucial role that goes beyond technical expertise. Chris is instrumental in organizing and leading progress meetings with the city development team and contractors for large commercial and residential construction projects. This collaboration keeps everyone informed, allowing us to coordinate efforts effectively. His friendly and professional attitude is universally valued, creating a positive and productive work environment that speaks volumes about his leadership and its significant impact on the team. In an acknowledgement of his exceptional performance, unwavering dedication, and outstanding service, I am honored to nominate Chris for Employee of the Month. His contributions have been instrumental in elevating the quality and efficiency of our city's building inspection processes, making him a truly deserving candidate for this recognition. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate your hard work. Yep. We're proud today to introduce you to a group of young ladies who did something historic at our school system and our city. They are the state soccer champions for the first time ever at Auburn High School. This is the Class 7A state champions, and I have a resolution here from the City Council. It reads, whereas the Auburn City Council is pleased to honor Auburn City Schools, its faculty, staff, and students for their excellent achievements and contributions both inside and outside the classroom. And whereas the 2024 Auburn High School girls varsity soccer team was crowned the 2024 7A champions at the John Hunt Park Championship Soccer Stadium in Huntsville on May 11th, 2024. And whereas the team secured the win against Hoover with a score of 1-0, taking home the first ever Blue Map Trophy for the girls soccer team program at Auburn High School. And whereas the Lady Tigers closed out their season in spectacular fashion with a regular season record of 21-3-1. And whereas the Auburn High School girls varsity soccer team consists of team members Melissa Smith, Allie Cobb, Samantha Reitz, Hattie Parker, Lindsay Anick, Ollie Womack, Camilla Bozeman, Lulabelle Hammer, Mally Napper, Paige Martin, Caroline Northcutt, Eliza Daniel, Ann Trammell, Meredith Martin, Abby Counts, Allie Bankston, Abby Lawrence, Claire Napper, Peyton Bishop, Layla Simmons, Scarlett Adams, Kat Greathouse, Kara Holden, and Ryan Ferguson. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Auburn, Alabama, that the council hereby recognizes and formally congratulates the coaches and players from the 2024 Auburn High School Girls Varsity Soccer Team for its outstanding achievements and exemplary efforts in representing Auburn City Schools and the City of Auburn. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting and presented to head coach Bill Ferguson and the team. Adopted and approved by the City Council of the City of Auburn, Alabama, this 4th day of June, 2024. Congratulations, ladies. We're very proud of you. Thank you for that, Greg, and certainly thank you and congratulations to Chris Hall for being recognized as our Employee of the Month, and for Rick Willman and doing an outstanding job in Public Works, and Norman Pitts, who we normally, if it was a regular night, we would celebrate 30 years working for the city environmental services, and Norman said he's still got some more gas in the tank, so he's going to keep working. But Miss Phyllis Reese, 50 years working for our police department. How fantastic is that? And it was a sweet 5 to 10 minutes I had with her that afternoon, or that morning, actually on the steps of City Hall. And what a great attitude she has, and a great desire and pleasure and honor it is for her to serve our community. And so I just appreciate Phyllis. 50 years is something to be celebrated. So thank you, Phyllis. If you're watching tonight or watching tomorrow, we certainly appreciate you. And congratulations to the Auburn High girls soccer team again. During the Committee of the Whole, we had a discussion about the sidewalk from Old Mill to McKinley Avenue. After that discussion, we have asked the city manager and her staff to come up with some ideas related to a couple of houses that are along that area that have had some issues with accidents, as well as try to answer some other questions for us. So we'll continue to dig in on that, and we'll let the community and the public know when we have some answers, and we'll probably more than likely put that on a Committee of the Whole meeting in the future. From my lens tonight, just a couple of things. I just want to remind everybody that Summer Nights is this Friday, and it's one of our great summer activities in downtown Auburn that our Parks and Rec organizes. Many of our departments will help be there and support that. If the weather's pretty, it'll be a fun time. I encourage all of you to go to Summer Nights this Friday night. And I want to say again, congratulations to Auburn men's golf team for being the national champions. We had a great time last Friday night at Toomer's Corner. Again, I want to say thank you to particularly our public safety for working on the fly. That was planned really quickly right after the men won the championship, and what a great evening it was celebrating their championship. Does anybody else on the council have an announcement they'd like to make tonight?
I have a couple.
Please. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep.
If you have been downtown and around Auburn the last couple of days, you may have seen a host of FFA students who have been in town the last couple of days for state competitions and different agricultural competitions, and they're all headed to the state convention in Montgomery, and Auburn Blue FFA is headed there, and hopefully will bring home some accolades for the Auburn High School. And then additionally, today I spent some time with a constituent in Ward 3, Liz Hatfield, who's very passionate about environmental issues as it relates to development across the city. And I just felt it was noteworthy to mention that we do spend a great deal of time with individuals on a regular basis, hearing their concerns and working through the process and bringing those back to the council eventually with hopefully some solutions. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, I also have an announcement. It's Juneteenth time. The Juneteenth parade will be June 14th at 6 p.m. and the route is going to start at Boykin Community Center, and it'll end at Drake Middle School, and it's going to start at 6 p.m. Lineup will be at 4:30. The event is the next day, June 15th, at Keyser Park, starting at 10 o'clock. So I invite and encourage everyone to come out and enjoy all the festivities.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Taylor. Appreciate your hard work on that. Anyone else have an announcement? Yes, sir, Mr. Mormon.
Just a couple. 2 days from now is 6 June, and the anniversary of D-Day on 6 June 1944. When I was a boy, the police chief was Fred Hammock, and he lived on North College in a little brick home. But Chief Hammock was there at Normandy Beach on June 6, 1944, and he was awarded a Purple Heart for his trouble. But he survived, and he became the chief of police at Auburn, Alabama, and had 3 great kids, and I just wanted to pay him respect tonight for that. He has, of course, passed on, but just want to honor his memory. And also, on the 15th of June at Sidewalk State Park, the AO Tourism folks are hosting the USA Cycling Marathon Mountain Bike National Championship, which is a mouthful, but it is a national championship of mountain bike riders, and they're expecting 500 people at Sidewalk State Park. So it is a big deal. And I just thought I would mention that. And I asked Kat Bobo when that was going to be, and she said all day. So it is a rugged trail that they will be tackling. And that's it.
Thank you.
Let
Please.
me just say something. June 19th is actually Juneteenth holiday, but 500 people will be at that, but the other 500 will be over at Juneteenth. And I also want to introduce some people in the audience tonight. Is part of my church family. AME Zion Church is here tonight, and I also have some of my youth organizations, youth that's here tonight. If they would stand, YFABs and Match. That's about 6 of them, but we have a roll of about 50. So I'm glad to see them here tonight.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Okay. Auburn University Communications.
Okay. Not much from us. Like you said, men's golf team defeated Florida State last week to win the program their first national championship. So that was awesome. We really enjoyed getting to celebrate them last week. And then we actually have something pretty cool going on at the end of the month. It's the Hunger Solutions Institute. They are hosting the National Rural Grocery Summit in Montgomery. And they're hosting it with Kansas State. It's a big deal for the university because this is the first time this event is being hosted outside of the state of Kansas. So we're looking forward to that. The Hunger Solutions Institute was established by the College of Human Sciences. So yeah, we're looking forward to that event.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Regal.
Thank you. All right, at this time is citizens' communications on agenda items. I want anybody that's with us tonight that has something you'd like to talk about. There are no public hearings on our agenda tonight. So if you'd like to discuss anything that's on our agenda tonight, this would be the time for you to come forward and address the city council. We'd ask that you come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes to talk to us about anything that's on the agenda tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Stephen Falk. I serve as pastor of Auburn Zion Church, presiding elder of the Opelika District, 576 Martin Luther King Drive, here in the great city of Auburn, Alabama. I'm here to first thank the city for the progress with the beautification on Martin Luther King Drive. And we really appreciate your work. And I hope tonight that we would not digress in our advancements forward. I'm also here to voice our concern with an agenda item with the approval of a liquor store on Donahue Drive. I think all of you have received a communication from me, as well as a petition that has been signed by members of our church voicing our opposition to this liquor store. The letter that I sent to you outlined some of our concerns, and I trust that you will take heart to those. In doing further research, I also realize that the law does allow you to place restrictions on businesses who sell liquor, that may sell liquor in close proximity of a church. And I don't know how many churches are in Auburn, but I really question how many of those churches have or will have 3 liquor stores within 1,500 feet. There are already 2. And some of them we did not have an opportunity to register our concerns because we didn't know. But we found out about this one, and it's going to be the 3rd one in our community. That's a little bit too much. And we would ask that you would look at sharing opposition and voting against that liquor store. I really wish, and the members of the community have also expressed, that something else could be done besides a liquor store. And we're hoping that you would think more of this community, an African-American community, than to put 3 liquor stores in that community when there are other communities that don't get that privilege. We are looking at, and we're very concerned because so often people come in our parking lot and they drink. Many of them we don't even know. And I don't want us to continue to have confrontations with these people and then there be national attention brought on because of a confrontation with somebody drinking and throwing alcohol containers and bottles, disrespecting our church property. It is also a concern because of how it leads to other problems in our community. And as we continue to move forward, we would really ask that you would deny this liquor store in our community. Thank you very much.
Paul? Hold on just one second. Yes, ma'am. You were coming up here when he walked forward. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Bolt?
Thank you. I listened with much interest to the discussion at the last meeting about this conditional use approval of the proposed liquor store. And as a business owner, I certainly understand the goalpost owner's position of not wanting other competition so close to his business. But that's not your purpose here. You are not supposed to pick winners and losers. Ms. Whitten, I appreciate your correct reasoning that the market should dictate the number of competitors. I also wanted to mention that Target downtown sells beer and wine, and I don't remember any discussion about it being a safety or moral issue. They also sell groceries and other items. The discussion then moved to talking about health, safety, and welfare as a reason to disallow the liquor store. The attorney for the city stated that with a liquor store, you needed statistical evidence to prove an increase in accidents, crime rates, and traffic in order to rise to the bar of exclusion. That evidence has not been shown with regards to the liquor store. Interestingly enough, this same health, safety, and welfare argument was used in opposition to the short-term rentals, which led to the passage of Ordinance 3288. It was argued that by this same attorney, yet no statistical evidence was provided during his arguments. As with the liquor store, short-term rentals did not and do not rise to the bar of exclusion. There was a concern mentioned about people stumbling onto the railroad tracks as one of the reasons to disallow this conditional use. During my site visit to better understand the opposition to this conditional use approval, I noted that the railroad tracks are adjacent to Weagle and across the street from the proposed liquor store. So proximity to the railroad tracks is not a valid argument. I also found while I was on property that Weagle delivers alcohol. So proximity does not matter. You can write enough laws, codes, or rules to control morality and behavior, yet 5 of you zoned out my property using the argument of noise, traffic, and trash and traffic, and had no statistical evidence to back up your decision. I found myself interested in this decision about the liquor store because listening to the discussion and the reasoning, it mirrored the discussion about short-term rentals and zoning out a portion of the city, which included me and my constitutional rights. There was no statistical evidence presented to justify the exclusion of short-term rentals in NC neighborhoods. That decision was based on emotions. When I was growing up, I was schooled and taught that you don't make decisions based on emotions. I was taught that you feel with your heart and you think with your head. That life lesson has served me well. I don't have a dog in the fight concerning this liquor store, but what I do have an interest in is the way that this council goes about making decisions. I love the city of Auburn. I love living here. But as you know, 5 of you took my property rights and it's left a bitter taste. When making decisions, this body should be fair. You should be equitable. You should be constitutional. Your decision should be legal. I'm asking you to pay attention to this decision and all decisions you make to make sure that those criteria are met because your short-term rental decision did not meet any of those criteria. No valid arguments have been presented to exclude the conditional use approval of this proposed liquor store. And since I have some extra time, I want to thank all of you for your service on this council. I know it's not an easy endeavor, and I know I bring it to you pretty hard about short-term rentals. Thank you for taking my calls, for taking my emails and responding, and for returning my phone calls. Thank you again.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
So my name is Dr. M.S. Reddy. I'm the citizen here. I'm not representing anyone, just based on the pastor's comments and the previous comments. With experience running goalposts as a landlord for the last 25 years, I have experienced so many groups comes in the middle of the night, knocking the doors, and breaking the doors, stealing liquors from these liquor stores. That's talking about for the last 25 years. The one was a goalpost, for example. Then the next the gas station liquor store. Then I see my own eyes, people coming all the way from Opelika, other part outside of Auburn City, because there's not much lighting around these liquor stores, number one issue. And they go, they buy, and they steal, and go behind the church, because people can't see. Those days, not much lighting in those areas. Now the gas station is okay, is lit all the time. Why the Family Dollar closed? Because people come there, stealing their stuff, they become bankrupt, that's why they have to sell that building. Now the new guy is coming in, opening another liquor store. It's not a competition. They can do, whoever want to do, they have money, they can open their businesses. That's not my point. That particular corner past the railway track is a very dangerous spot. Particularly that building is hidden from the public viewing, not much lighting there. So in my opinion, if I walk past midnight in that area, you can see crowds of people with the liquor bottles in their pockets. Some of them stolen, some of them they bought it because they knew in that particular area is easily available. They can hide it in their pockets, go out after the midnight. They wander around those residences, houses, the high-rise student housing, causing a lot of problem. The more liquor stores available in the vicinity, it is very dangerous to the public. So as said, there is no statistical data to say, hey, don't allow, because they have not opened yet. After opening 3 or 4, then only collect the statistical data to prove that is not right. So right now we do not have, now the councillors, you have your right to express, hey, at this time, it may not be possible to approve a conditional package store, come liquor store, whatever it may be. You can approve a restaurant, serve like a restaurant, beer or wine and liquor, not to sell to the public. That's my opinion. I appreciate your opinion after this because you want to protect that particular neighborhood and the students living in those high-rise student housing is easy accessible. The guy can open until 2 a.m., for example. It is my opinion as a professor teaching at Auburn University is not the right way to approve a conditional liquor store. Thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Dr.
Thank
Reddy, did we get your address?
you. Did we get your address? Would you repeat that for us? I'm sorry.
1683 Fairway Drive, Auburn, Alabama.
Thank you. Who'll be next? Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Doris Talbot Hutchinson. I live at 606 Spencer Avenue, Auburn. And I'm a member of Auburn AME Zion Church. And I first heard about the liquor store, but I also heard that somebody wanted to put a grocery store there. Now, the grocery store is favorable. We would really support a grocery store. If you know anything about my race, we love to cook and eat and serve food. So, and we do a lot of cooking at our church too. And so we would love to have the grocery store there, but we have liquor being sold out of Wigglers and at the Gold Post, and we really think that's enough liquor on this side of town. So we would love the grocery store or anything else that's positive, and we would be glad to support it. Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is H.V. Steele. I'm a member of the Auburn AME Zion Church,
Address.
and I thank you for giving us the opportunity to come here and speak tonight.
Could you share your address with us?
My address is 1309 Aubrey Drive, Auburn, Alabama.
Thank you so much.
We need a store in our community. We need a store in our community. We need a store where we can go in and buy fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh cut meats, and even some household items. We need a store that will give some of the kids in our community an opportunity for employment, to further their education and job skills. We need this in our community. What we don't need is another whiskey store. We don't need another whiskey store. Thank you, Mayor Anders. I wish you guys would really consider this. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Is there someone in the back? Yes, sir. Hold on, just, yeah, okay, that's fine.
I'm Janice Frazier. I live at 516 Bird Street. I've been a member of Auburn Zion ever since I was 8 years old. When I was coming up, we had grocery store, we had Reed, we had Pollard, we had Miss White. None of them sold any alcohol. At the time, I remember only alcohol couldn't be in a certain and plus, we don't need another liquor store. As a member of the Auburn Zion Church, I wish y'all would consider not letting another liquor store come in. We are there to worship God and to please God. We are there, and when you go to your church, you don't wanna walk among liquor bottles. You don't wanna see what somebody that cause damage to your church or anything like that. So as a member, I'm begging you all to not let another liquor store come to that community. And thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
And Mayor, if I may, real quick, we will have on order a microphone more for instances like this where we
Situation
can
like
get to
that.
the citizens. So I'm sorry you had
Okay.
to stand there, but we're going to
In the
fix that.
future, we'll be able to bring a microphone to you, so thank you for being patient. In the back?
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Hey.
Council. My name is Stevie Slaughter. My address in Auburn is 2492 Buckhead Road, but I also have a property at 849 Slaughter. My reason for being here today actually started with a phone call from the city. This is in reference to the short-term leasing, and I'll get to that later. Of course, this is the second time I've gotten a phone call. I was actually in Atlanta on business. That's why I rode down here today.
Mr. Slaughter, do you want to talk to us about anything that's on our agenda tonight?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
on the agenda,
Okay.
is why I'm really here is about the liquor store. I don't think we need to have another liquor store on the west side. Being a lifelong resident of Auburn, and I remember back in the 90s when myself and a group of partners, we wanted to do a liquor store. We were told at the time that we couldn't do one in the city of Auburn with the proximity of the church and all of that. And now here we are, some 30 years later, there's 3, just as they stated, within 15. And someone mentioned this about competition. You can't stop competition. It's not about competition. If that's the case, I wonder how they would feel if we had 3 liquor stores in the proximity of, let's say, Terrace Acres and Morris Mill Road. I'm pretty sure people are going to speak out on that too. But most so importantly, even with the gentleman, Dr. Redding, I think that spoke earlier, I mean, those concerns are neither here nor there. I just feel that there should not be another liquor store, like they say, that close proximity of the church. And we as a community, and me, myself, and the rest of the residents here in Auburn, we should do everything we can, to at least have the council to at least go along with us and deny that liquor store.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Slaughter.
Ron, could I say something right quick?
Why don't we close this part of it, and then I'll
Well,
let you.
it's actually because he was getting ready to make a statement about short-term rentals, and so did one of the other ladies. And I think he was basically gonna combine what he said as to what she also made a statement about short-term rentals.
Okay.
So I just don't, I just don't want,
Well,
I
I
want to be
misinterpreted.
fair.
I thought he had a discussion he wanted to make about that.
We'll revisit. The only reason I brought it up because she brought it up.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine if you wish that at the end of the meeting, there's another 3 minutes available for whatever you
Yeah,
wish.
Ms. Slaughter, if you'd
And
like
if
to.
he'd like
yeah.
to, however, with the pleasure of the council, you want to handle that.
My mistake on the misinterpretation. I apologize for that.
That's okay.
Would anybody else like to speak to the council? Anyone? Okay, we'll move forward with city manager's communications.
Mayor, I do not have any city manager's communications this evening. Are you ready to move forward with the consent agenda?
Please.
Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Anyone? Yes, sir, Mr. Griswold.
Yes, please. I'd like to remove 3D 1 and 2 and 3D 4.
8D, you mean 1 and 2?
8. Yeah, 8.
And then what was it, and 8D4?
D4, yes, please.
Okay.
So 8D1 and 2, and then 8D4. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, 8D1.
Item 8D1 authorizes the city manager to execute professional services contracts with the Auburn Game Day Corporation, Auburn Game Day Law Enforcement Corporation and area public safety agencies or individuals for the purpose of providing supplemental public safety services for sporting events and/or special events at Auburn University for the time period of August 1st, 2024 to July 31st, 2025.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion second. Mr. Griswold?
Well, thank you. I have no problem with this whatsoever, but I want to make clear to the community that the additional cost of this is fully reimbursed by the university. So we pay overtime, we pay all these various agencies, whatnot, to come in and help us out on these crowded ball game weekends. And the city manager was kind enough to answer my question earlier in the week, but I don't think that was obvious to everybody because I've had some questions about it from constituents. So I just want to make it very clear. This is not an additional expense for the city, but that the university and the city are partners, and the university does reimburse the city for additional expense.
Absolutely, and this is a means, we had to form the Game Day Corporation for liability purposes and other things, but ultimately, yeah, we front it, we bill the university, and they reimburse the city, and that includes, as Councilman Griswold said, some of our own expenses relative to it. The one thing it does not cover is, and it's a misnomer on game day, we have the entire city of Auburn covered as we normally do with our regular beat patrols. As any given day it is covered. This is our regular police patrols, no, but everything associated with game day beyond a certain point, yes. It also includes some extra fire department work and many other things, so.
Okay. All right, any other comments or questions from the council? We certainly appreciate all the effort that goes into keeping us safe. There are a lot of people that come not just to the game, but for the events and the fun and fellowship, and there are a lot of people that spend their football weekends here with us in Auburn. And we're glad that these men and women keep us safe, so thank you to them. All right.
I think sometimes, Mayor, we take it for granted, but trust me, it's a big endeavor to do what they do. And I'd like to compliment Director Matthews. It's really they do a wonderful job, and really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief, and you would know.
I sure would.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 8D2 authorizes the city manager to execute a professional services contract with Auburn University to provide supplemental public safety services for sporting events and special events at Auburn University for the time period of August 1, 2024 to July 31st, 2025.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, Mr. Griswold.
No additional comments.
Okay. Any other comments from the council? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
Item 8D4 authorizes the purchase of one LifePak 15 heart monitor from Stryker Medical in the amount of $51,612.68. This purchase will be funded out of the opioid settlement funds.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, Mr. Griswold.
Thank you again. I looked at the line items for all of the various items that come with this. I didn't see anything about training. Does the company provide training as part of this purchase, or is that
I'll have
something?
Executive Director Matthews respond. We already have some of these devices.
We do. We have 3 currently, and this will be our 4th, so the staff is already trained on this device.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from council? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any further questions or comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the consent agenda is approved. Ordinances.
Under ordinances this evening, item 9A authorizes the back-to-school sales tax holiday to exempt certain items from city sales taxes on Friday, July 19th through Sunday, July 21st. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Hearing none, any questions or comments? Okay, Lindsay with the roll call.
Witten,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Mormon,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes.
Item 9B establishes one stop sign, one 25-mile-per-hour sign, four one-way signs, 4 regulatory roundabout yield circulation signs, and 4 roundabout circulation signs in general, which is different than the yield circulation signs for Northgate subdivision Phase 1. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce that ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with the vote on this evening? Hearing none, any comments or questions? All right, Lindsay?
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Mormon,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes.
For everyone's consumption, state law requires that the council approve all of these signs. We have no choice but to do it that way. So I apologize for the lengthy explanation. All right, under resolutions, item 10A is a request for conditional use approval of a commercial and entertainment use of package store to be located at 316 North Donahue Drive. The Planning Commission recommended approval of this request by a vote of 7-2 at its May 9th meeting. This item was postponed from the May 21st City Council meeting to this evening. As a reminder, a motion for approval is currently on the floor, and the public hearing was open and closed during the May 21st meeting.
I have a procedural question.
Yes.
Should we not decide to take it off the table? What happens?
You, your language that night, you actually postponed it. And so postponement to date certain of today. There was discussion, the word that was used interchangeably, tabled and postponed, but postponement when you do a date certain was today. You do have the right to lay something on the table. I do need to check with the planning director. With conditional uses, does the city council have unlimited time in which they can act? It's not a subdivision regulation item.
I feel like it's day 60. Yeah, rule of 60, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we've run into this one time before with there was a cell tower request out Highway 14, and I think the city attorney had advised that you needed to go ahead and act one way or the other.
Thank you.
All right, so where we are tonight is we can have discussion about this, or
You can go straight to a vote. So as a reminder for everyone here, the city council typically does not make negative motions. That's usually frowned upon in Robert's rules. So a vote to approve was to move the business onto the table. It's the council's choice from there how you choose to act.
all right, so if we approve the motion, that moves it moves.
Vote yes if you're moving toward a vote. If you guys decide there's no discussion, that means you're in favor of the conditional use. And if you vote no, that means you are not in favor.
Okay, so it's straight up vote yes or no on this.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's no.
Yeah, there's no, yeah, time to speak to the council was earlier. Yeah. Okay, we do have a motion. Is the council ready to
Wait a
vote?
minute, no. Okay, so what, we are actually either approving or disapproving the conditional use
Yes, ma'am.
of this.
Correct.
Okay, so,
Has nothing to do with the grocery store, as you established in your last meeting, and had discussion about that. The grocery store is permitted by right. This is about a package store conditional use request that went before the planning commission and is now before you.
So to approve would be a yay, and to disapprove would be a nay, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, one quick question.
Please.
Did the council as a whole desire to reopen the public hearing for additional comments or not? How does that work?
That was up to you guys.
That's up to the council.
Procedurally, you allowed discussion for items on the agenda that did not have a public hearing, so that's at the pleasure of the council, the majority of the council, and what you wish to do.
Mayor, if I may, I think we've heard enough about the ordinance, resolution. I think it's best time around, just take a vote.
Anyone else have an opinion on that? Thought on that? Mr. Griswold, you've obviously brought it forward. Okay.
No, I just was
Just checking it.
curious to see if anybody else had a desire to hear additional comments.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not hearing
but if
that.
he got a comment, he can do it during citizen communication, right?
It'll be after the vote.
That'd be after the vote.
I know it'd be
yes.
after the vote, but he still may have something to say.
No question. No question, yes. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody's comfortable where we are. Everybody comfortable? Okay, we have a motion on the table to approve, correct? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay.
Nay.
Nays have it. Doesn't need,
Lindsay, do you have what you need?
So I
His
can get
hand?
at least
Okay.
the no's,
all right, so,
or let me get the yeses and then
all
that'll
right,
be.
so all in favor, please say aye. Would you please raise your hand?
It's 3,
Three.
Okay.
3 to 6, so the motion fails.
Motion fails.
The conditional use was not approved.
10B.
Item 10B authorizes a Section 108 loan in an amount of up to $316,000 to Friendship Foods Incorporated, doing business as Country's Barbecue, to assist with capital funding for equipment to be used at a redeveloped restaurant facility located at 1021 Opelika Road.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Anyone on council have a question about this? Any comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10C authorizes a financial contribution to the J. and Susie Gouge Performing Arts Center at Auburn University in the amount of $5 million over 10 years, or $500,000 a year, for the Gouge Performing Arts Center Studio Theater and Amphitheater Build-Out Project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the council?
I think it's noteworthy to, for the public to understand that this is taking the place of what it would cost the city to develop and construct its own amphitheater, correct?
This is far less, this contribution, I mean, as your memo states, and I think it's part of what you're outlining, it's $1 million a year alone for them to operate aspects of this. And so we have this wonderful opportunity to partner with Auburn University for an amphitheater that our new Parks and Recreation Director will be the first to tell you we could never afford to deliver a facility of this quality or this stature. We have 80% of their season patrons are list Auburn zip codes as their address, so it's serving our community very well, but we could never hope to build a center like this. And from an operational standpoint, for us, the city staff, this would be hard for us to operate. You saw that Birmingham is breaking ground on a new one, and while I'm very excited for them, I'm also very excited that Auburn University manages this through the Goose Performing Arts Center and the wonderful staff there. And we also have, in your memo, it outlined a number of opportunities. Whether it's always been accessible, there's some partnership things where for virtually no fees, we've got to deal with some security and other things. Our community orchestra will have the opportunity to play both inside and outside at the amphitheater, and other groups and things and projects that the city does. So this is just furthering the partnership. Also remind you that over the last 4 years, we've spent $200,000, $50,000 a year for some programmatic things as a contribution. We did $1.5 million in the initial construction toward it. But that's a drop in the bucket compared to what we're getting out of it. We're gleaning a large economic impact that you see in your packets, and we're garnering a lot of cultural programming and also access for a lot of children that would not normally have access, that are getting opportunities. Our $50,000 a year programmatic contribution goes away with this item. So the way that will happen, while it's not in your resolution, it will not appear in the budget.
And what is this, just for everybody to know, what is this financial contribution from Auburn, the amount?
From who?
From Auburn. We're partnering financially.
So the total construction costs are estimated to be $15 million, and we're paying roughly a third of that, and the rest will be funded otherwise, unless our Goose team corrects me. Okay. And that is straight. The Board of Trustees will actually be considering authorizing everything to move forward later this week on their agenda. Mayor, you may have more.
No, you're exactly right, and amphitheater connotates an outdoor setting, and we're certainly excited about that. But there's also ability to take the stage and turn that into a 250-seat studio theater. So it's another additional tool that we'll have in our community to enjoy the arts, and people that are gifted and talented that either are amongst us here or that come to our community. I'm certainly very much in favor of this, and our partnership with the Googe and with the university has been productive for our community over the last few years, and this will be another great asset for us as we consider what can you do and where can you go to have entertainment with your family and friends, and what are the reasons that people want to come to our community and be tourists and spend money and be amongst us. And this is going to be a tremendous asset, as already has been a great asset. And as Megan said and as Beth said, we will not be responsible for running this, and we will not be managing this. And so we have no overhead expense. We're not chasing down the acts or the performers. That is their responsibility. We're getting to enjoy all the efforts of them by making this investment. And it will give our people in our community an incredible stage to perform on. And those that spend time in the arts will have opportunities to stand on those stages and perform. And that'll be a credible experience for our citizens and maybe even our children at times too. So very excited about this. Any other comments or questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Mayor, those are all the items of business we have for you this evening.
Sure. At this time, we'll open the Citizens Open Forum. This is when you as a citizen can speak to the City Council about anything on your mind. We'd ask that you come forward and share your name and address for the record. You'll have 3 minutes to speak to the council. We ask that you not call any of our staff by name and that you make your comments directly to the council. Who will be first? Yes, sir.
Thank you. Steve Cosgrove, 1927 Watercress Drive. And I missed the Memorial Day festivities here. Like I said, I was going to, and it's something I don't like missing. And Councilman Mormon, really appreciate your mentioning and honoring and reflecting on the person that was literally at Normandy, June 6, 1944. I don't think we can express appreciation to our service personnel nearly enough, particularly those in that era and then everyone forward. I want to express appreciation to each of you. I find each of you remarkably accessible and personable, and we're blessed in Ward 3 in Ashton Park to have Ms. Beth Witten as our, we really are. Beth goes out of her way to just be, like I said, very responsive and accessible and so forth. And Beth, I've handed the magazine out, your new East Alabama Living, that you did a really great job on this here display of Felton Little Park. I don't know if y'all have seen that. But a copy of this and take a look at that. But everyone that I've handed this out, no, I'm serious. Everyone that I've handed this out to, which is a lot, and I probably need to get another box. Okay. But they've been really impressed with what you did, and it put it forth an attractive, appealing, compelling, that's the word I'm thinking of it, description. That's really, really neat. The project that we've been working on and is extended to you, that it really is a positive surprise gift, and that was the whole point of doing that. I'd like to welcome, to invite and encourage anybody if has any ideas or any suggestions that how that could be, actualized and so forth. I'm completely wide open to that, in whatever way can be sensible for our community. It's completely. It was completely reflective positively of the city of Auburn, and it honored Felton Little Park, and we actively and significantly encouraged citizen involvement. I'm really, really proud of that. So, and it's also taken care of. The payment for the display and so forth is already taken care of, and it could be created in one afternoon and mounted the next morning at no cost to the city.
Thank you, Mr. Cosgrove.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you. Great. Yes, sir.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Krishna Sangani. I am the supposed new owner of a university and wine and spirits that has been rejected. Thank you for the church members for sitting to this last minute to see what I have to say. Thank you for those. Dr. Reddy, he already left. And thank you and sorry to the council for standing up and speaking during the meeting. I'm sorry for that. The concerns that I saw were mainly about safety. Number 2, the church. And number 3, theft. To this, I came up with a few things in my head, which I'd like to point out. As an experienced business owner for the past 2 years, also running liquor stores within the Auburn city limits. The first thing is, there are plenty of liquor stores along the railroad. So if people are stumbling and drinking and making their way across the railroad, you can easily say that Auburn PD has failed, which I don't believe so. I believe Auburn PD is doing a great job in keeping our streets clean, and the safety is just fine. Actually, when people steal at my current liquor stores, we work very well with Auburn PD as well as AI technology to make sure that we actually catch those thieves and put them in jail. It's as simple as that. The next thing I'd like to speak about is the 2 liquor stores that are in the area, which we're putting a liquor store right in the middle of. To this, my opinion is that our business model is completely different. We are a wine and a fine spirit store, not just a liquor store. There's a very big difference. Things that we have done, which I can argue that we have done for our community, is that we've supported local brands, such as Wild Leap, John Emerald Distilling Company, in order to get these products in Auburn, we require a larger liquor store that comes with a different business motto. And the last thing comes to safety, about the lights and it being dark and people banging on windows of businesses. We are also going to invest money to make sure this place is presentable and follows what Auburn's vision is as far as businesses. I know you guys already voted, but if there's any way you could reconsider, right, after me making these points, I have 30 seconds, and the main reason I didn't speak or didn't interrupt is because I wanted to hear everyone out before I came up to put my point. Within these 30 seconds, I'll tell you who we are, what our business motto is, and what we aim to achieve. We aim to put the customer before anyone. And I'm a firm believer that each business, each motto that you set for your business attracts those types of customers. The second thing is we believe in safety. You can ask Auburn PD. We've worked with them a lot to make sure we are safe. And number three is that we believe we could change the game in Auburn.
Thank you.
Could I ask a question? Is that appropriate now, or is that?
You're welcome to ask questions. I can say from a reconsideration standpoint, it would take somebody on the prevailing side for reconsideration.
It wasn't necessarily a question about reconsideration. It was a question to him about the other part of this was a grocery store.
Yes, sir.
Some of the church members had raised some concerns and a desire to see a grocery store in the area that did sell like meats and fresh foods, things like that. Could you briefly describe the type of store that you're planning to also put here? Was it going to be more of a convenience store, or was it going to be more of a grocery store that might provide some of these items?
So that's actually a really good question. I focus more on the dispute that we had, but that's a very good point that you bring up about the grocery store. So yes, when Family Dollar closed down, we saw this as an opportunity to kind of repurpose that, and we feel like we could do things right within the community. We found success in different areas, and yes, we were planning to make actually a grocery store on one side and a liquor store on the other side. In the grocery store, you were to find, we actually started with C-store, meaning just this is all honesty. I'm not trying to win. Convenience store. We were thinking about convenience store, so selling stuff such as just sodas, candies, chips, bread, milk, frozen meals, stuff which people can come in, which is convenient, which is easy for us to make sure that we could, maintain good stock, fresh stock, right? And then we started reconsidering fresh groceries, fresh fruit, breakfast. We started reconsidering stuff like lunch, as well as other food opportunities, which we're still in discussion about and how we're going to move forward with that. But that's something we also wanted to bring. That's why we kind of didn't, propose for an 8,000 square foot liquor store, because it's not necessary. We felt like we could achieve that with half the building, and with the other half, we could have done the rest with groceries. So, thank you for asking the question.
Thank you. Who'll be next? Yes, sir.
I want a clarification. The reason I came down, I was up in Atlanta and I got a phone call today from Mr. Tanner with the city of Auburn, referencing a rental property that I have in Auburn about it being Airbnb property. And he contacted me maybe about a couple months ago referencing the same thing. First of all, the family that I have in there is a tenant, is there on a month-to-month. So I guess my question is, what do I have to do, or what do we have to do to where I won't be receiving phone calls every other month? And then my tenant's calling me stating that someone's knocking at the door and leaving items. It is not an Airbnb. They are in there on a month-to-month rental, but yet I get phone calls from the city.
It's not something I'm prepared to answer at
Sure,
this
I
time.
understand.
We can get with Mr. Slaughter. I'll be happy. Mr. Scott Cummings, who's our Executive Director of Development Services, of which the Inspection Services Department falls under, can talk to Mr. Slaughter right now at post-meeting. So,
And I have a picture on, because I got
Okay.
security. And I show where a representative from the city was out there today.
Well, so it's all right, after when we get through here at the meeting, we'll,
For Scott Cummings, we'll chat with you.
yeah, we'll have a meeting right here, okay? Yes, sir. Thank you for coming back, clarifying. Who'll be next? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor Anders and the council members. My name is Mary Moore. I reside at 425 Webster Road. I also have property at 913 Slaughter Street here in Auburn. I'd like to piggyback off of some of the comments that has been shared tonight about the grocery store and the liquor store, which I call the booze center. But anyway, I feel compelled to say that that building, I use my drive icon on my phone to look where 316 North College is. Didn't know where that was represented. So I found out that that's where Family Dollar used to be. That building is very much essential for something like a convenient place like Dollar General or a Family Dollar store or something like that. Family Dollar is gone, but Dollar General would be essential. We only got 2 here in Auburn. It would serve so much better for young people, for families that's located on just that side of town, on another side of town, whatever. But we only have 2, and I like the idea of Dollar General going there. It's so convenient. I'm so concerned about the students in the area. You know, stumbling, that railroad tracks has taken lives of people that has been drunk or consumed alcohol on many times. There are lives that have been taken. You might not remember those times. I'm one of the old kind, so. But anyway, lives was taken. I know 2 for a fact. And a city worker life was taken. So to know that what the businessman is wanting to do with that building, sometime later coming back with grocery, but starting out with the alcohol or what have you, I don't see that that's serving anything for a family that might need some resources, something that's very central for their family, you know, because it will help me as well. I can't go up there and get alcohol every day, but I can go get products for my home, for my personal use, or what have you. Christmas holidays, they're gonna serve good for children. It will help a whole lot. It is my idea, and I do have a problem with it being, although you have voted, not approved, but if you would consider the resources that will be used for that building, it's more better used for something like Dollar General or what have you, or Costco can even come here, whatever. So let's consider that, if you will. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Who'll be next?
City Council. My name is Hiran Patel. I live at 899 West Richland Circle. I also have property on 600 Webster Road. I like to speak as a landlord of University Wine and Spirit. I represent Eagle Venture Group, which is the owner of the location 360 North Drive. So I'd like to just respond to the concern about leasing the property to Dollar General and Dollar Tree. So we did reach out to them, but they declined our offer because according to them, according to the new model they've been adopting, is the property is not big enough to come in and do business over there. So we reached out to Family Dollar again, Dollar Tree, which is a subsidiary company of Family Dollar. And then we also reached out to Dollar General, and they also declined our offer. That's it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Who'll be next?
My name is Robert Wilkins, 261 Denson Drive, Auburn, Alabama. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Is the city headed in the right direction? We, the Auburn citizens, are given 180 seconds twice a month with controlled decorum guidelines. which include limiting our First Amendment rights by telling us who we can talk about and what words are acceptable. At the same time, our elected city council and mayor are unchecked. Our mayor says things such as "this man." In Webster's dictionary, it's a slang expression used to highlight when someone has done something stupid or unbelievable. But the comment did not answer the questions, why did you not recuse yourself on Ordinance 3288? A poll was put up with 4,500 views, 11 reactions, 60 comments, and 114 participated in the poll. It said, is it a good image for Auburn public officials to degrade an Auburn citizen in a public forum? 16% said yes, which is a surprise. 35% said under certain circumstances, and 49% said no. Mayor Anders and my Councilman Mormon could go to the high school to count the number of kids crossing University Drive for a possible sidewalk. However, the mayor cannot attend a Ward 1 meeting and bring the city manager and the chief of police to listen to concerns about police issues. Another poll was put up with 1,400 views, 2 reactions, 6 comments. Only 28 participated in that poll. That poll question was, if there exists a problem with our excellent police department, especially in Ward 1, should they do the following? Continue to ignore the problem. 14% said yes. 39% develop a varied task force chaired by Councilwoman Taylor. 46% said put together a meeting at Ward 1. We are citizens of Auburn, are tired of being controlled by the elites and its bureaucrats. We're tired of being in the dark. The city bureaucrats only feed this council and its citizens selective information while we all gulp it up as the gospel truth. We're tired of the Auburn City Council and Mayor Anders selecting various boards and commission members who are friends and associates instead of using the abundance of talent and experience in this wonderful city. It was embarrassing when the mayor and council selected a nephew and an uncle from the same family for the position, including a councilman who had to recuse because of a relationship. I guess it's like a trifecta. We expect transparency that the city bureaucrats and council profess. However, we are never told who applied for the various boards and commissions. We citizens are just told many great candidates. We're told to get involved, but we citizens feel like a creative citizen cannot. Thank you.
Who would be next?
Susan Bolt, 1188 East University Drive. If a person rents a car from Enterprise and speeds, do you shut Enterprise car rental down? If your neighbor gets a speeding ticket, do you revoke the licenses of all his neighbors? If a person unknown to you steals from a store, do you lock up everyone who shops at that store? If a dog poops in the wrong yard, do you ban all dogs in the neighborhood? If someone leaves their trash can by the street too many days after scheduled trash pickup, do you ban trash pickup in that ward? If all of these scenarios sound ridiculous to you, you would be right. So let me ask, if a short-term rental host has a problem guest that is too loud, do you ban all short-term rentals in that ward? Oh, wait. Yes, 5 of you did that. This too is ridiculous. Please tell me that you can see that. I presume you would never consider banning dogs in neighborhood conservation neighborhoods if they bark too much. But you banned short-term rentals and trampled property rights because some people barked too much. You can reverse your actions on short-term rentals in Ordinance 3288 since you are the policymakers, unless you believe as Mr. Parsons does. He stated in a meeting in 2020 that y'all are just, and I quote, glorified rubber stampers for the city, end quote. So, are you just rubber stampers? Did the city use the STR5 to do their dirty work? Ask the city manager. She will tell you her hands are clean and that you are the policymakers. What action will you take before your tenure on this council expires? Or will Ordinance 3288 be your legacy? On a national level, We have seen recently how others have abused our Constitution with lawfare to achieve their goals based on emotions, I might add. What part will each of you and the STR5 play in the destruction of this great republic that we are trying to hold on to?
Thank you. Who would be next? Yes, ma'am.
Martha Shamp, 307 Camellia Drive. It's June. This is the month of the Sacred Heart, so I will think about Jesus' Sacred Heart a minute. Certainly better than most things we have to think about. It's great to see Auburn's good churches. I drive around and see them. They have signs out advertising Vacation Bible School right now. And the Parkway Baptist sign said, God's Word never changes. So what are they teaching the kids? That God is holy, God created them, He will help them, God loves them, God is faithful to them, He's gracious, slow to anger, abounds in mercy, He's kind, He's forgiving. But God has rules, and sin brings sorrow. God's ways are best, and He deserves honor and respect. They learn about Samson, Moses, Noah, Joshua, King David, Joseph, the Prince of Egypt, Solomon, Daniel in the lion's den, Elijah, and all the Old Testament prophets. So the Vacation Bible School serves them cute refreshments like gummy worms and popsicles and cookies, yum yum, and it lets them do art. They love the art the most, I think. They also sing songs about God's grace and His love and how He sent His only Son to pour out a blood sacrifice to cover their sins and all of our sins if we want that covering. Jesus Christ is their Savior, their doorway to heaven. Jesus calls them His little sheep. He says no man will pluck them out of His hand or is able to. No man. These good churches heal children, and they guide the children into all truth. They learn God's 10 Commandments, and that God demands righteousness. His word never changes. What God says is always true. He will deliver them from evil. He will protect them from temptation. And it's great to see Auburn's churches, the good churches, saving children from this evil and corrupt world and from evil library books. Yes, I denounce them continually. Evil library books and from apostate churches that hang a disgusting pride flag on their walls. Flee those apostate churches. All you true believers in Jesus Christ, flee those apostate churches. Flee those apostate churches. And thank you for the good churches that are teaching children truth and helping children into heaven. Thank you.
Who will be next? Yes.
Gabriel Dunham, 210 East Thatch Avenue. Dear council members, PFLAG Auburn is here today to share with you about the success of the annual Pride Fest weekend hosted by Pride on the Plains. Our organization and many others marched in the parade on May 31st in Opelika, and then on June 1st, Pride on the Plains held its 6th annual Pride Festival at Kiesel Park in Auburn. Pride on the Plains estimates that 3,000 people attended. Approximately over 70 vendors attended this year, increasing from previous years. It was great being able to support our local businesses and people. Pride Fest is always a family-friendly event, which many families enjoy. Children were able to play outside all day and they also enjoyed a large inflatable slide. People were able to learn about many different local organizations like mine with PFLAG Auburn. Families also had the opportunity to learn about native non-venomous snakes and other wildlife at the Carrera Preserve booth. There were also great booths with books and other things for the public to enjoy. Many people also enjoyed holding the snakes as well as some other things. It was great having this festival at Kiesel Park where the Auburn community could have such wonderful events like the upcoming Juneteenth celebration on June 15th. PFLAG Auburn believes that Pride on the Plains carried out its mission statement this weekend of offering a sense of community through celebration, education, empowerment, and inclusion among Alabama's LGBTQ+ members and allies. Happy Pride Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would be next? Yes.
Good evening, Council. My name is Leah Billy Welburn. I'm a resident of Ward 5 at 112 North DeBartolebon Street, Apartment 5. I came up before you with a few different things on my mind. One is Happy Pride Month. I was listening in on YouTube before I arrived tonight and heard y'all dealing with the conditional use permit application. And I just want to say that I know y'all deal with a lot of tough balancing acts and tough decisions. I know that no one gets it right all of the time, and I appreciate that you have a lot of tough things to decide when you're doing the business of the city, and I appreciate that. Balancing the rights of individuals and the opinions of other individuals is a tricky task. I also went to Pride on the Plains' celebration, both the parade and the festival. I had a very good time, and in a Facebook group, I did notice that among the announcements that were out there, several people were not so kind, not so Christ-like in their comments. And one refrain I saw several times is, why do we even have a Pride Month? And so in case any of y'all were wondering, I thought I'd give my 2 cents on the issue. The LGBTQ+ community has often been subject to attack, both verbal and physical. The queer community is one that some people will publicly call blasphemous, perverts and groomers, abominations. I'm not a Christian myself, though I do powerfully respect people who practice their faith well. I'm a proud Unitarian Universalist. We believe in the inherent worth and dignity of all people. And part of our faith tradition is influenced by Christianity and Judaism, as well as paganism and many other sources. And so I am a little bit familiar, and I have heard, judge not, lest ye be judged. Let he who is out without sin cast the first stone. And love thy neighbor, full stop. During this month, a lot of people may find themselves uncomfortable and confused. To many, I know I might look like a rando wearing a dress. But I'm always open to conversation, and I hope if you find yourself with questions or concerns that you'd talk to me. Thanks so much.
Who'll be next? Okay. We'll close citizens' open forum. Anyone on the council have anything?
Mayor, if I may,
Please. Yes, sir, Chief.
anytime someone speaks ill of the Auburn Police Division, I'm certainly going to speak up. I personally know the chief of police here in Auburn. He's worked here for a number of years. And I seriously doubt that you can find anywhere that he has refused to come to a meeting on any side of town in Auburn. Chief Cedric Anderson is readily available to come speak to anybody that wants to speak to him and listen to problems that they may have with his department. So I would encourage you, if you have the problem with police, are not perfect. I never said that. But if you should have a problem with the police, I recommend you contact Cedric Anderson, the police chief, and have a meeting with him, and I think he'll be able to help you out. If not, then you can talk to the city manager and him together. But to attack the police, they have a tough job. It's a tough job, and I'm not going to say that. You can talk about me or how silly something I did is, or you talk about all the comparisons to the Wizard of Oz and all that crap, but when you talk about the police, you talk about something very serious. And I just want to say, I would challenge any of you to find one time the chief of police has refused to come meet with any citizen in the city of Auburn. You won't find it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay.